I'll introduce our first sponsor for today, and that is Jason Neufeld. Esquire is the founding partner of Elder Needs Law, PLLC, which focuses on a variety of elder law matters, including estate planning. He can help you with wills, trusts, power of attorney, and Medicaid planning. Jason can legally and ethically protect your income and assets and get Medicaid to pay for some or all of your home health care, ALF, or nursing home expenses. He can also assist with probate and guardianship matters. Jason is an AV preeminent rated attorney by Martindale Hubbell and is consistently recognized as a top lawyer among his peers in Super Lawyers magazine 2012 through 2020. Jason wrote the book, How to Get Medicaid to Pay for Some or All of Your Long-Term Care Expenses Without Having to Wait 5 years, without having to sell your home, and without having to go broke first. He is an active member of the Academy of Florida Elder Law Attorneys, and he meets with clients in Aventura and his plantation office locations. Elder Needs Law, PLLC, also has a satellite office in South Miami and also in Boca Raton. And Jason is a valued board member of the North Miami Beach Chamber. Jason, you're on.
Great, I'm gonna start my timer so I honor my 5 minutes. All right, Leslie, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me here today. I am Jason Neufeld with Elder Needs Law. That's elderneedslaw.com. And while we do a whole host of elder law activities, I want to focus on the two areas that I primarily specialize in my office, and that is estate planning and Medicaid planning. And my goal is, with the limited time I have, is to briefly describe what that entails. And I also want to clear up some confusion regarding both of these areas, give you some practical advice. And at the end, if you feel this is something you're interested in, I'm also going to have a discount available to you all if you're interested in that sort of thing. So first, I want to begin with estate planning. And I like to tell people estate planning is not just for the rich. Okay, if you own a house or any real estate, and if you have children, whether it's minor children who you want to make sure are taken care of if God forbid something happens to you, or older children that you want to make sure that whatever it is you do have, you pass on to them efficiently and while avoiding probate, then estate planning is for you. So with estate planning, we're talking about revocable living trust, we're talking about wills, and we're also talking about incapacity planning, right? The idea is, what if you lose the ability to do for yourself? Well, you have a couple of choices. If you do nothing, then what happens is whoever is interested in taking care of you has to petition a judge to give them permission to make these decisions for you, right? And this happens, it can be a slow process with the progression of dementia, or it can be a sudden process with a stroke or a heart attack or some other injury. So instead of going through the time, expense, and hassle of a guardianship, I tell people that the single most important thing that I do, right, of all this fancy trust and planning, and some of this stuff can get quite complex, especially when we're talking about asset protection, but the most important thing that I do is provide my clients with a well-drafted, durable power of attorney. Because a lot of people come to me with these free forms that they got online, or from a lawyer who hasn't kept up with the law, right? If it's a lawyer who doesn't focus on estate planning or elder law, then it has the potential to be a bad form. And what they do is they present to me these powers of attorney that are partially okay and then partially deficient, right? And it's not a one-size-fits-all document. So usually for things like banking, the power of attorneys that I mostly see are fine for that. But when we need to get into something a little bit more substantial, like creating or modifying trust, that's where these free forms or old forms or poorly drafted forms are lacking. So with the Medicaid planning, which I'm going to get into in a second, people come to me and I have to be the bearer of bad news and say, listen, this power of attorney you have is fine for certain things, but not for what I need to do or any other lawyer. And so now you're in a bad position. So that's estate planning, very, very important. Medicaid planning, and I like to say, just like estate planning is not just for the rich, Medicaid planning is not just for the poor, right? If you have income and assets that are preventing you from qualifying for valuable long-term care benefits, Medicaid will pay for expensive prescriptions. It'll pay for a certain number of hours of home health care. It'll pay for a part of an assisted living facility bill, and it'll pay nearly the entirety of a skilled nursing facility bill. Medicaid planning is for you or your loved one. Anyone who needs help paying for those things, right? There's the two big misconceptions with Medicaid planning are A, Medicare is going to cover me. Medicare is not going to cover you. You can have the Cadillac, the best Medicare supplement available, and you're going to get a very limited coverage when it comes to long-term care in terms of they're going to pay for 100 days of rehab or nursing home care, and they're going to pay for things like speech therapy and physical therapy and occupational therapy in the home. But if you need help or your loved one needs help with going to the bathroom or feeding themselves or taking their medications or cooking or cleaning, right? All these activities of daily living, Medicare does not cover that. Medicaid does, right? So I can legally and ethically protect my clients' assets so that they don't have to impoverish themselves first and still qualify for these things. So I did write a book, as Leslie mentioned. Here it is. It's available on Amazon. It's $7, I think. It's how to get Medicaid to pay for some or all of your long-term care expenses without having to wait 5 years, without having to sell your house, without having to go broke first. And with the 20 seconds that I have left, I want to give you my ask. My ask is that if you are a part of an organization that deals with the elderly or the disabled, there's a lot of bad information out there, and I'm looking to set the record straight, and I'm looking to educate. And real quickly, and I'll put it in the chat for the discount, if you're interested in anything that I do, and if you mention, oh, that's my timer. You mentioned that you were here within 60 days, I will take $100 off any service at all, from the smallest, just a single durable power of attorney, to the most expensive. And if that's of interest to you, please take advantage of it. Leslie, thank you very much, and I'm happy to be here today. Thank you.
Jason, thank you so much. That was great information as usual, very well presented as usual. And thank you for everything. And thank you for everything also that you do for the chamber as well. So at this time, I would like to introduce